So for the company background, Brothers Cafe is a restaurant that serves delicious food from a wide range of cuisines, which welcomes patrons of all ages. The cafe's originator and current owner, Ahmad HAIKAL bin Muhammad SUHAIMI, opened the business on July 7, 2017. The founder was inspired to start this cafe by a pleasant experience he had from his trip to Tokyo, Japan. Along with the excellent food quality, the restaurant has a pleasant atmosphere. Then came the greatest part, which was their desserts, which had an otherworldly flavor. A0T03A, Tamarind Square, Persera Multimedia, 3663,000 Cyberjaya, Selangor is the address of the Brothers Cafe. Mr. HASIF chose this location because it is very well known and highly strategic, and it is close to offices, residential areas, and universities, all of which are great for attracting clients. The main purpose of the cafe is to allow Malaysians to enjoy delicious desserts imported from abroad in their own nation.
So next, I will talk about level of management in Brothers Cafe. So firstly, top level of management in Brothers Cafe, we have CEO. Next, middle level of management in Brothers Cafe, we have cafe manager, store manager, kitchen manager, marketing manager, and assistant manager. So lastly, bottom level of management in Brothers Cafe, we have waiter, barista, chef, and cashier. So now I will introduce the employees in Brothers Cafe for each level. So firstly, top level, our CEO is Mr. Ahmad Hasif HAIKAL bin Muhammad SUHAIMI. Next, in middle level, our cafe manager is Mr. Muhammad Amir FAHMI bin JINS, and our store manager is Mr. Muhammad NAJMI MUDA bin MUDA ALANG SABRI, and our kitchen manager is Mr. Muhammad FIKRI bin JAFREE, and our marketing manager is Mr. Muhammad IDHAM bin AZIZUL, and lastly, our assistant manager is Mr. Muhammad IQBAR bin WAHI. So next, in lower level, our waiter is Mr. Nik Muhammad Wazin Noain bin Wandi and Akil Hami bin Rizak. Our barista is Mr. Muhammad Syami bin Ismail, and our chef is Mr. Muhammad Faris Aiman bin Harul Haidi. And lastly, our cashier is Mr. Gabriel Isma Izwani bin Gabriel Hazril.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Amir Fahmi bin JINS. My ID number is 2020617764 and I will be explaining about cafe manager. A cafe manager oversees daily operation of a cafe which sells food and drink to customer, from planning menus and working with vendor to training employees and managing budgets. This individual is responsible for all aspects of running the business. So the skill of Brothers Cafe manager is, the first one is excellent communication skills, problem solving and conflict management skills, and multitasking skills. So I will be explaining about excellent communication skills. It is skills that are required as a Brothers Cafe manager. It helps you become a great leader. Communicate in a clear and understandable manner can make employees at Brothers Cafe feel a sense of belonging to the organization because a clear communication. Employees feel more motivated to work when they believe they can be heard and communicate with their supervisors. Furthermore, effective communication with customer aids in the development of a positive relationship, encouraging them to return to Brothers Cafe.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Najmi MUDA bin MUDA ALANG alias SABRI. I am the Brothers Cafe store manager. My responsibilities are manage recruiting and training employee. Next, staff scheduling, store opening and closing, greet customer as well as responding to our customers' complaint about our cafe. And lastly, inventory ordering. Skills needed to be another P, the Brothers Cafe store manager. Leadership skills so they can manage our staff cafe, our cafe staff. Then time management skills, organizational skills, customer service skills, as well as can understanding and explaining well 5 basics of fundamental of business, and lastly, knowledge of specialty drinks. That's all.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad FIKRI bin JAFREE and my serial number is 2020-451224. I am kitchen manager in Brothers Cafe. So there are 3 roles and responsibility as a kitchen manager. Firstly, organizing kitchen staff. As a kitchen manager, I need to organize the staff by giving tasks that suit the staff abilities so that they can work well and happily. Next, menu development and food management. I must ensure that the cooking ingredients used are fresh, and I must develop the food menu to attract more customers come to Brothers Cafe to test the new menu. Lastly, as a kitchen manager, I need to hiring new staff and providing training to facilitate quick acclimation. So, there are skill and qualification to be kitchen manager. First, we must have excellent organizational and communication skill, and culinary knowledge and experience is a must. Lastly, we must have ability to work well in a stressful and fast-paced environment.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Safiq Damir AZIZUL. My matrix number is 2020488206. I will be presenting about marketing manager. Marketing manager is responsible for developing, implementing, and executing strategic marketing plans for an entire organization. The marketing manager has their own set of duties and responsibilities. The first one is to oversee all marketing campaigns for their company. The second one is to implement strategy, and the last one is to promote a business, product, or service. The marketing manager also should have skills to take this role. The first skill is they must be familiar with the latest trend. For example, nowadays a lot of people use TikTok as their platform regardless of age. TikTok also has a lot of new trends, so TikTok is more relevant to post and promote in their cafe. Next, they also should have the ability to think creatively and innovatively. For example, they have to be intentional about designing a creative work environment. Other than that, the most important skill of a marketing manager is excellent communication skill. It will gain the trust of others. It encourages people to visit their cafe. Last but not least, they should have analytic skills to forecast and identify trends and challenges. As we know, there is a lot of challenges to run up a business.
Hi, I am the Assistant Manager for BRADAS Cafe. My name is Muhammad bin IQBAR bin WAHI. As the Assistant Manager, I am responsible for implementing workflow procedure based on direction from the company General Manager. My duties and responsibilities is 1. To schedule and coordinate meeting. Twice a month, I will coordinate meetings for all the staff in BRADAS Cafe. 2. Conduct employee performance review. In the meetings, I will conduct this performance review to see how their performance in these 2 weeks. Next, I will participate in recruitment and dismissal process. In this process, I need to plan carefully when do I need to recruit new staff to avoid short staff happening in this cafe. Lastly, I will smooth out problem within the workplace. I need to have a quick decision to make sure the problem solved quickly and efficiently. And then, skill and qualification for assistant manager in BRADAS Cafe. Firstly, I need to have excellent verbal communication and the ability to convey important information clearly and effectively. Next, people person, which is I need to be able to provide excellent customer service, quick decision making and problem solving abilities. Lastly, strong leadership and initiative.
Next, I will be explaining about BRADAS Cafe planning. For the vision of BRADAS Cafe planning is, we want to let customer experience food and environment as if they are in Japanese cafe. While for the mission, we strive to provide a good meal by combining both Japanese and Malaysian cuisine by developing a better environment for the customer. Next is the standing plan of BRADAS Cafe. There are 2 procedures for customer to ordering the food. The first one is cashier. Customer will place the order at the counter and pay right away. Then the order will be passed to the kitchen. After the order is ready, our staff will deliver it to the customer table. The second one is QR. Customer will place the order by scanning the QR on their table using the phone. They can pay either online or at the counter. Next is the cafe policy. The first one is, we always make sure that the food we serve to the customer is always in a good quality, so customer can enjoy it as they are eating their own food at home. The second one is, we always make the customer is our first priority by making they happy and comfort with the environment of our cafe. The third one is, we always keep update our menu so it will suitable for all the ages to come and eat at our cafe. Next is single use plan. For the program, BRADAS Cafe plan for some events such as Chinese New Year event, Ramadan Iftar buffet, charity event, and also birthday party for customer who request it. This yearly plan and event is important to make sure customer remember and loyal to our special menu on certain event. For project, we want to open a new BRADAS Cafe franchise in Johor Bahru. This is because our target to expand our cafe acknowledgement to Singapore. The reason why we choose Johor Bahru compared to other states because Johor Bahru is a strategic place to open a new business. Lastly, for budget, financial team need to hold a meeting to specify how our cafe financial resources should be allocated. Budget need to be calculated based on the program and project.
Next, we have the organizing of BRADAS Cafe. For the kind of departmentalization, Brothers Cafe uses a functional structure which groups three distinct departments together at the same time. The structure's few benefits to Brothers Cafe include professionals carrying out tasks according to their areas of expertise and ease of supervision. Its poor decision-making speed is its drawback. In Brothers Cafe, there are three departments which are marketing, cafe, and store. Each department has its own tasks and objectives to complete throughout each working day. A flat organizational structure, often known as a wide span structure, is the span of management that Brothers Cafe employs. Mr. HASIF put the system in place because the cafe is a small business and the distance between the levels of management is narrow. We can observe that there aren't many gaps as we examine the organizational chart. Employees from different departments can interact and build relationships through this management sphere.
Locus of decision making. There is two decision making, which is programmed and unprogrammed decision. For programmed decision making, decision is related to structured situation where the problem is more or less routine and repetitive in nature. For example, in Brothers Cafe, the assistant manager will order stock or supplies for the Brothers Cafe. Next is unprogrammed decision. It is a decision that does not follow a set of procedure and the criteria for such decision is not well defined. For the example for unprogrammed decision in Brothers Cafe, it is when the CEO wants to create and add a new dish into the menu of Brothers Cafe. Technique in decision making. There is three major techniques, which is brainstorming, nominal, and Delphi techniques. In Brothers Cafe, we oftenly use two of these techniques, which is brainstorming and nominal group techniques. The reason why we use both of these techniques is because this technique practicing teamwork and group work from the decision making. Twice a month, Brothers Cafe will handle meetings to conduct the staff review and collecting the idea from staff and manager. For brainstorming, we will open the idea and collect all the idea from staff and manager without evaluating them. For nominal group technique, we will give paper to all the staff and write down their idea, and then we will review all the idea and evaluate which is the best idea.
Motivation is the process by which a person's effort are energized, directed, and sustained to attain your goal. For Cafe, we use Maslow as our motivation theory. We has physiological, security, social esteem, and self-actualizing needs. That's how we apply the Maslow theory in our Brothers Cafe. First level motivation is physiological needs, means that our manager must assume that our worker mainly work for money and primarily concerned of their rate of pay. So we have decided to pay 1,500 ringgit for part-time worker per month and 1,923 ringgit per month for full-time workers. Next, security needs means that our manager will often emphasize roles, job security, and fringe benefits. We decided to be responsible with any incident that happened to our worker during their work time, and including paying their medical fees and in their contract. Okay, next, we have social needs. In our cafe, we're making sure that our workers have their social needs such as friends and works and co-workers. Our managers put them on different shifts with different co-workers every day so that they can socialize with all walks of life and helping each other with their work. Okay, next we have esteem needs. Our media team will always create a fantastic social media post highlighting the employee of the month because we acknowledge workers that manage to do their work at its finest by giving monthly reward to them as moral boost so that they will continue their good work. Lastly, we have self-actualization needs, means that manager who emphasize self-actualization may involve employees in designing jobs or making special assignments that capitalize on employees' unique skills. In our Brothers Cafe, our cafe manager have assigned our workers into different specified jobs such as waiter, chef, barista, and cashiers that work under surveillance of kitchen manager for chef and assistant manager for cashiers, waiters, and baristas.
Next, leadership in Brothers Cafe. There are two theories of leadership, which are behavioral theories and contingency theories. But in Brothers Cafe, we use behavioral theories only. How we apply these theories in Brothers Cafe? Brothers Cafe use the behavior to the leadership, which is the managerial grade. So in Brothers Cafe, we use the status quo and the sum. So firstly, the sum. In Brothers Cafe, our leader paid high concern to both people and production. They encourage teamwork and commitment among employees. Next, the status quo. In Brothers Cafe, our leader focus on performance by balancing work requirement and employee morale. So this method will create a great work environment to our staff and motivate them to work harder to achieve the best performance.
Next is controlling. There are three types of control. The first one is feed-forward control, concurrent control, and feedback control. In Brothers Cafe, feed-forward control is done at the input of level production and initiate before the start of production. It is sometimes called preliminary or preventive controls and attempts to identify the previous deviation in the standards before they occur. Feed-forward control focused on human material financial resources within the organization. For example, AMIR FAHMI as a cafe manager will conduct training for a new employee to be trained. The coaching method was used to train them. It is a method of teaching and learning. If the trainer doesn't understand what they're supposed to do, they can ask the cafe manager directly. Alright, there are two types of feed-forward control. The first one is diagnostic and the second one is therapeutic. Diagnostic is determine what deviation is occurring and therapeutic is take action. For example, in this company, if there is any deviation occur, we will fire the employee definitely. Secondly, the other major control types are concurrent control. Concurrent control is the process of monitoring and adjusting ongoing activities and processes. In Brothers Cafe, the manager in charge will monitor our staff that involves the customer and manufacturing products. It is because to make sure our staff knows how to make the product properly. Subsequently, the last major control types are feedback control. Feedback is a control that occurs after the debug action is completed or occurs after a progress to gain feedback or information that can determine whether the performance standards are met. In Brothers Cafe, the manager in charge will make a post-action control to identify whether our staff performance met the standard or not. The manager also sees the waiter able to greet the customer and suggest a menu to the customer that suits their taste perfectly or not.
Lastly, for the conclusion, both upper and lower management are important in making Brothers Cafe a more popular and advanced cafe. The organizing in Brothers Cafe is one of the main components that make the cafe more structured and able to operate efficiently. Lastly, we hope that Brothers Cafe will be able more franchise in the future and known worldwide. So that's all from us, Team Brothers Cafe. Thank you.